So, one of the things I have constantly said on this channel, time and time again, about the nonsense behind this anti-vax movement, is that sooner or later, there are outbreaks. And there are always outbreaks. In fact, there has just been a major one in Washington of about 50 cases. Now, that may not sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but remember, if you have a vaccinated child, the chances of them catching measles, is almost zero. So, this is, you know, the anti-vax movement, seeds that they planted coming home to roost. From what we know, the state itself is home to a pretty active anti-vax movement, and in fact, one of the best examples is recently they tried to change the laws, because at the moment in Washington, you don't have to have mandatory vaccinations. You can reject to have your child vaccinated on philosophical grounds. That's dumb, because quite frankly the scientific evidence defeats any philosophical argument you might have against not vaccinating your child. So this is so dumb, and you can go watch the demonstration they had at the courthouse. In fact, CBS had this interview of a parent who literally, bear in mind, is sat right at the epicenter of a measles outbreak. 2 of her children have been vaccinated, 1 of them hasn't. And she is just like, I'm not vaccinating my child. And the reporter asked, one of the last questions they asked her is there anything that would change your mind to get your child vaccinated? She turns around and just goes, no. In fact, what's the most fun part about this is that the vaccination rates in that state have gone up by 500%. So there are lots of parents out there who were duped, thinking, oh, I don't have to vaccinate my child, and then realised, oh bugger, I should probably get my child vaccinated. And I say this every time I do one of these videos. If you are, because the children who are like the first lot of anti-vaxxers that grew up are now, what age are they now? They're now early 20s, early 20s, so they're about, what, 22? No. They're either 19 or 20 or 21. They're around that age range. I can't remember it exactly now. So, I always say this, if you find out that your parents didn't get you vaccinated, then you should absolutely go and get yourself vaccinated, because your parents have put you at risk of basically contracting a disease that can be very easily solved by not getting in the first place, by just having a vaccination. Problem solved. So if you do know that you are one of those children, go now, get yourself vaccinated. I recently came across someone who was exactly like this. In fact, they were very certain that their parents had vaccinated them, and then they questioned their parents, and their parent, well, the mum had actually lied to their dad, thinking that he had taken her to be vaccinated when in fact she hadn't. So she found out she hadn't had the MMR vaccine. So that's mumps, measles, rubella that she could potentially contract. And in the UK, we have had outbreaks of, you know, mumps and measles. So, you know, this is just, you know, typical stuff you see in Italy. Good God, the stuff that's happening in Italy. We spoke about that a couple of weeks ago, about how they're they basically dismissed and I haven't kept up with this yet. I need to go back and have a look, see what's happened, see who they've put on this panel. So just a quick rundown of what happened. Italy has this basically this council of vaccine experts who advise the government, particularly the health minister, on what to do with that vaccines. The new health minister, again this far-right nationalist party, heavily deeply in the anti-science quackery of anti-vax, she decided to get rid of the entire panel and replace them with other opinions. So yeah, fun times in Italy.